I think it's 5 o'clock,
Somewhere.
so I'm going to call the public hearing together to solicit public comments on the request of John Smaglick,
Yes.
who's requesting a special exemptions from the following sections of the Town of Lisbon zoning code related to M2 General Industrial District offsets for the property located at West 220 North 7071 Town Line Road, Lisbon Tax Key 0237.981.002. The zoning code section 32F2 in zoning M2. I should read that. Offset of the zoning ordinance requires a minimum of 200 feet from a residential or agricultural zoning district where a lot abuts on a zoning district boundary line, where buildings or uses are not permitted in the more restrict zoning district. Applicant is requesting a 113 feet 7-inch foot side offset variance and a 100 foot 1-inch rear offset variance to construct a 60 by 80 by 16 foot storage building.
Correct.
Now, you'll get ample time as we get into the regular meeting, but this is for the purpose of soliciting comments. So are there any comments?
Not by me.
Does this gentleman, is he with you guys, or?
He's a neighbor.
Okay, do you have any comments? What-
I'm an advocate.
Okay,
Well, this would be your opportunity to,
Let it see what happens. I'm just an advocate. I think it's a good use of the land and improves the property and will help your tax base. I think you have Elquist and Bloodline on one side.
I'm sorry, would you state your name for the record?
Jerry Newman, 7082 Town Line Road. I think it's a good use of the property. The residents that are close to it, one of them's parents built the building originally. It's been there a long time. And there's a industrial building behind it.
Jerry, you are on Carlson Lane
No, I'm across the street, right at Carlson Lane,
in Lannon.
in Lannon. So,
so here's, how old is the building, do you guys think, roughly, the existing building?
Built 59.
59. Okay, so 60,
yeah.
okay.
So I'm just an advocate. I think it's a good use and will improve the property and give you a little bit more tax money, and I don't think it impacts the residents like it would in a normal residential community. So I think it should be granted a variance. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. We will give this at least a few minutes in case anybody is out in the parking lot.
Yeah, heavy traffic.
They lifted the weather warning.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
No, it's windy. They can just getting dark right. They'd be all right.
Are you guys commercial landscapers, or what do you guys do, or just everything?
Yeah, commercial, residential. Very persnickety about residential, but mainly commercial.
Okay, you have
New
plow
installs.
trucks and that stuff too?
Not anymore, not so much. I'm a one-man band when it comes to plowing.
Okay,
It's just, I'm getting older.
When are you there? I've been at the property about 3 times.
Like I tell people, I don't make any money there, so I'm hardly ever there. Oh, did you want to get inside the gate? Or look around?
No, not necessarily, just, you know.
I'll have to look at my cameras and I'll tell you when you were there. Yeah, it's a neat property. I don't make any money there, so I don't spend much time there. And at this time of year, we're pretty much done. Once the ground gets wet and it rains like it has,
How long have you been in there?
12, maybe 13 years.
Oh, because there was somebody from, I think he was from Sussex, that was a woodworker there.
He was before us.
Germantown.
Germantown? Who was that?
So you bought the building from.
Yeah.
Oh,
I kept his name and information at the shop because
I
people
think
come
he was
by.
a John also. His last name.
It'll come to me.
so
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
I've been in the building, but it's many, many moons ago.
It was a daycare years ago.
Oh,
One of the guys that we hired came to the building and goes, I went to daycare here. So, all right, welcome.
Before that, it was a hardware store.
Yeah, it was everything, a print shop, they made sweaters there.
well,
It's a good building if you can walk through the doors, that's what it comes down to. If you can't walk through the door with whatever you got, it's just a building. No garage doors, no access, it's just a building.
what do you think?
It's 5:05.
Okay.
I think you're pretty safe.
Here comes someone's coming. Someone's coming.
We did hear somebody.
Yeah.
We got time.
Hello.
You're on?
We were considering adjourning the public hearing, but if you're here and you would like to make any comments,
Not really, no. Got stuck waiting for a train I've been earlier.
okay,
Another car coming in too.
well, that one's too late.
This is
At
one of your guys.
5:07, we will adjourn the public hearing. I can just simply adjourn it, can't I?
Yeah.
And call the zoning board of appeals to order. Roll call,
Charlie Cook.
Charlie,
Dennis Blotaker.
and John Gerke. So we have a quorum. And we're meeting this evening to discuss, for discussion and necessary action to approve the October 14th, 2019 zoning board of appeals public hearing. Oh, no. What I want to do is ask for the approval of the minutes from that such meeting on October 14th.
I make a motion we approve the minutes for the last meeting.
And since Dennis and I were the two in attendance at that time, I will second that. Call for a vote. You can vote. Charlie?
Yes.
Votes in
Aye.
favor. Aye. Minutes are approved. This item was properly noticed, and the neighbors within the prescribed distance were all notified.
Correct.
I saw these guys.
So the business is, as we mentioned in the public hearing, discussion and necessary action on the request from John Smaglick for a special exemption from the said statutes. Could you state your case?
I have been in business 26 years. We moved out here 21 years ago, Lisbon. Ran my shops out of Milwaukee. Out of Lazinski Morris buildings in Pewaukee for years, and this property came available. Thought it would be a good investment, so we bought it.
In what year?
What's that?
When did you do that?
12 to 13 years ago.
Oh, it was like 07? It was 06 or 07.
Okay.
To do that, it would be a good value in the future for me. We had 96 trees removed off the property. It was just overgrown with box elders and dead elm trees. Cleaned it up, lulled it out best we could, put a fence around it, screened it from the north of the neighbors, screened it from the street side, didn't do anything about the bug line side. And turns out the neighbors are also all Carlsons. My grandfather and great-grandfather built the building, so they're happy to see it was being used. But like I say, all these years, you cannot use the inside of the building except for socialing, maybe having a soda pop or whatever. Hard to store things inside, always gotta carry bag goods into the doors. So I thought now would be a good time in my life to upgrade the building, get my business back into full swing. I've been kind of semi, I don't wanna use retirement because my wife, I think, doesn't like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around.
But I thought now would be a great time to put a building on a property, put it used to, the existing building is getting old. I don't know if it makes a difference, the quality of block they used back in the old days, but the basement foundation is not as strong as it should be. It's gonna be a matter of time before that building is gonna cost me a lot of money to put it back in shape. So why not just turn that building into something a little bit nicer, a little more friendly?
Would you explain that, turn that building in?
My intentions are to remove that existing building.
Okay. Yeah, we were unclear, so, yeah. Because I couldn't figure out how everything would fit into the
Oh, okay.
offsets that you're talking without removal.
Remove the existing building,
Remove building,
keep the well, pray for a grandfather on the holding tank from 1959. We're not gonna assume that's gonna happen.
you have a holding tank?
Yeah. Metal, 1959 version. I suspect it's part of my budget to upgrade the plumbing.
That's all bedrock, is it not?
It is, yes. Yeah. And then some.
Yeah.
Clean up the property, get my stuff inside. I have a lot of small trinkety stuff. I've liquidated a bunch of stuff in the process of trying to clean up, and then it just hit me that, why did I just go for a building?
John,
Always been
what would
too-
you be able to put inside with all that stuff that's outside now?
What will I be able to?
Yeah.
Trucks are the important thing to me. They've been sitting outside deteriorating. Trailers, if they have equipment on them, lawnmowers, my personal supplies, salt, fertilizer.
So this building will be coming on for sure before the new one goes in?
Yes.
Okay. So the existing building is not conforming, is that correct?
It's currently not conforming, no, not from day one.
Okay. And the new placement of the building will be non-conforming? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so then the question is, what's the hardship? What's your hardship? Why are you here?
Why am I here?
Yeah, what's the hardship?
I would like to make the property better for myself and my family. I don't know if that's a hardship. Right now, it's a building I cannot use. I pay heating, electricity on it, and it's just in my way. I can't use it for my purposes of running my business.
Okay, so there's several service doors, but no overhead?
Yes, service doors only, yes.
No overhead doors?
No overhead
Can't
doors.
be put in?
Nope.
Okay,
And it does have a basement to it also, this building.
okay.
Looks like you have some sort of a ramp that goes down there.
Yeah, because there's a basement door down there.
Just a walk through.
I've looked into busting out the back and making it a big overhead garage door. That's when it was brought to my attention that the block is kind of brittle and old, and maybe I should reconsider that. The roof, I don't know how old the roof is, but I think we both know a roof like that is gonna be expensive to keep up and repair, replace. And so now is the right time to increase the value of that property.
Then you had mentioned there's a fence on the north side of the building, is that correct?
There's fence on all four sides of the building,
Okay, including the bug line?
including the bug line.
Okay,
Yeah, that's the front fence is, yeah,
Screened.
we can't see through it.
No, let's put your nose up to it
Yeah,
now.
but the others you can.
The north side is completely filled in. I put in 56 arborvitaes 12 years ago. They're about 30 foot tall right now. And in the back side, I planted other trees per the neighbor who owns that property. I asked him, what would you like me to put in there? Arborvitaes or deciduous trees, and he chose for a bunch of deciduous trees.
Now, that neighbor is one of the property owners on the other side of Carlson Lane.
Bob.
So that gentleman owns both the property behind you and the property on Carlson.
Yes, I think there's 3 or maybe 4
It
individual
looked,
lots.
I drove it today, it looked like 3 or 4.
There was 4, Bob Assengrave's owns the last 2. That was his nephew that was in that house that died. Scott Keith.
So he's in favor. Not that. I just thought now was the time to get the property up to modern standards and get my business going a little bit stronger.
so to make this building conforming with the setback, it would have to be a smaller building, is that correct?
Oh,
I'm not sure anybody.
I don't know
would
if
fit.
anything would
That-
fit.
Nothing would fit?
And my lot's only 190 wide and I got a 200-foot setback.
Oh, yeah, it's impossible.
Nothing, okay.
Yeah,
In fact, I don't really have any neighbors. There's four lots and 2 are residentials, or live there, the other 2 are vacant. I don't have anybody to the east, west, or south of me.
Charlie, you do address the hardship situation, but there are other matters, I think that, also come into play. The unique property limitations, as we just stated here, the existing structure is non-conforming. Impossible, according to code, to put anything in. What harm would there be to the public interest in this being done? I myself don't
That's not a problem.
see any harm.
How did it get to be a non-conforming building to
Ah.
begin with?
1959.
Yeah, well, so what?
Yeah,
If it was non-conforming, why did they let them build it?
I don't have the history behind that.
So neither.
Yeah, they didn't have anything.
They didn't have ordinances in those days.
Yeah,
They had friendly neighbors back then.
My guess is, I think that was Carlson's front yard, because he lives on top of the hill. The house was where he used to live, and he just walked across his front yard to his hardware store.
Well, to continue on, how about egress for fire trucks and that stuff? There's enough egress back there to get fire trucks in case there's a fire?
Into my fenced-in property?
Yep.
Yes.
oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've been told by the fire department, man, that when they come, they probably will not enter my building. That was contained. Because they don't know what I have in there. Fertilizers, chemicals.
No?
They would just- Sometimes they come on a regular basis, sometimes I don't see them for a couple of months, the fire guys.
Yeah. I'm not gonna get into the status of Carlson Lane or the residential buildings, but I did walk the bug line this morning, adjacent to your property, coming from the west. And Brian, what's that business that's further behind?
It's the next one,
Yeah, I think it's gross, that gross roofing.
Gross
Roofing.
one block over.
Yeah, Gross Roofing also abuts the property that you abut to the west. And he has a building there that looks like it's approximately, I pasted off, about 20 paces. So that's about 60 feet from the property line. And that also requires a 200-foot setback, which,
This building is way newer.
yeah, which,
So you're saying that they should rename the road non-conforming lane? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm not gonna get into that one.
So the whole idea is, there's a lot of stuff that's not
A
conforming.
lot of stuff.
Okay. So next question is, in the future, who would have problems with this being non-conforming? You know,
Basically, other properties that are also non-conforming.
okay, so directly to the west of you, there's an empty lot, you said, is that what it is?
Yeah, 2,
Yes.
maybe 3 empty lots.
Okay, are they residential?
They're,
Commercial?
I thought one was zoned commercial.
I think they're all.
Do we know that?
I can pull.
Brian would be the one.
Commercial, this one here?
This one is R2, I think, these are R1,
So these are residential,
I believe so, yeah.
and these are commercial, okay?
Maybe Dan can.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
So this, we're, just a question for the board is if this building goes up, would anybody else come back and have other problems that are on their surrounding properties if they want to build? Don't you love these questions? These are great, aren't they?
Makes sense.
Yeah, I looked at the zoning board handbook, which I attended a number of years back, and it talks about property limitations that prevent ordinary compliance and are common to a number of properties should be addressed by amending the ordinance. Well, we can take that up with the board.
The property to the west is R2 and to the south is M2. So the north and the west are both R2.
R2 is commercial,
R2 is
Residential.
residential.
M2 is,
M2 is industrial or
Okay.
light,
And
yeah,
this-
manufacturing,
this is-
correct, light industrial.
This is commercial, industrial, this place?
I'm gonna.
His is, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would make it, let's say, better? What would anybody do to make it conform with what we need?
At this point,
Like
nothing.
as a
What?
rezone?
What?
As a rezone, you're saying?
No, how, what would make it conforming? As far, right now, it's not conforming with the property zone or whatever it might be here. What would make it, better? That he wouldn't have to be here, what would you do?
You just said it. You just said
I
it.
can't hear you.
Change the ordinance, that's what he said.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how the town could do that with the
Right.
property. I mean, they could change the ordinance, but he would still be
Yeah.
on it, so it'd still be legal non-conforming.
Right.
So nothing would change.
Well, how do you make it conforming then?
Build an outhouse.
Granting a variance.
What?
Build
We
an
gr-
outhouse.
Granting a variance.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, and if I may, Mr. Chair, in this case, there's really nothing you could do, because if he tears the building down or just deteriorates to nothing, there's nothing you could do there. And even if you did it a different business, or rezoned it from an M, what are you, M2?
Yeah, M2.
I don't know what businesses because all the business districts have some buffer to residential. So even if you rezoned it anything other than residential, is the only thing you could rezone it to in order to make it conforming, and then he couldn't have what he has there. Does that make sense?
You still restricted then. So then the buffer zone is for noise?
That's my assumption.
Okay, so then, so you're within how many feet of the neighbors here, the lot line?
70, 85. Add their distance, probably 100 feet.
Okay, so do you have a bunch of skids and front end loaders, or what do you run?
I do, but I'm also I can't make noise before 6 a.m. and I can't make noise after 6 p.m. I don't know what that's true.
Just give it a little thumbnail sketch of your equipment, your motorized equipment.
What do I have?
Yeah, just roughly.
Basic trucks, pickup trucks, little
Okay.
dump trucks, skid loader, New Holland tractors, and riding lawnmowers.
Okay,
Would that make noise?
and the dump trucks are like 5 yard or 10 or 20?
3 yard.
3 yard, okay, small little baby dumps.
Yeah.
Got it, okay. So any diesels?
Yes.
Okay, so do you think your neighbors here, you,
I would say if they do, it's very little. Like he had mentioned earlier in the day, when am I there? I'm never there, which is nice. I'm not there putzing around, but we come in and we get out.
okay,
I like the idea of not making noise too early because it gives me an excuse not to get up too early.
Helpless is across the bud line with a rock tumbler,
got it,
quarry trucks,
Oh.
Got it.
large loaders. You
Got it.
can't hear John
got it.
helpless next to him.
Okay,
Thank you for that one.
You can hear that over in Menominee Park.
Correct.
I leave when they run that tumbler. I can't take the noise. I don't know how the neighbors take it. It's really terrible. I just pack up and I go home or somewhere else.
Okay.
this gentleman said here before, it's good for the town taxation. It's not gonna, whatever happens to it in the future, if you abandon this or something, it's gonna be a barren land, and it looks like it's good for you, so I say yes.
Well, before you do that,
I second it.
if there's no further comments, I'll close the discussion.
I just have one quick comment. Just so you are aware, Mr. Smaglik's going to have to go in front of the Plan Commission after this approval for the building structure. So through that process, he'll go through the site plan of operation, and we'll discuss certain things and stipulations that the Plan Commission may request from you as well. So there's another review after this, so that you're all aware.
Review it today or review it in the near
No.
future?
To be scheduled.
After, once you apply for a site plan of operation amendment for the structure.
Okay, there being no further discussion,
I
is
got
there a
one question. You planning, ever putting a fuel tank over there?
No.
Okay.
No.
I would imagine he'd be hard pressed to put a UST in, but it would probably be a above ground tank with a burn would be the only
I don't do
way.
that kind of value. I
Yeah.
don't need something like that.
Okay. Call for a motion.
I call for a motion to grant it.
So you'd make a motion that we grant the request for the variance.
That's correct.
I second it.
And call for a vote.
Yes.
Aye.
Aye,
With 3 ayes. The
Cyclops.
variance is granted.
I just have one other question. The fertilizer, is it flammable at the end of the day?
No, it's a granule.
Okay,
The bags would be.
okay. Because remember the Mass Science Center in Madison.
Yeah. No, I don't have that kind of volume anymore.
Okay,
I may in the future. I may be persuaded to
got it,
go that way.
got it.
Adjourn.
Well, we hope you.
Okay, we're done. I'll adjourn the meeting at 5:27.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You need a
thanks for
motion on
coming. Young man, thanks for
Sometimes
coming.
we do, but I don't think we do. According to
Appreciate it.
Robert's
We
Rules of
appreciate
Order.
your comments.
You don't need that for adjourning.
No, I kept